Welcome to If These Tables Can Talk, where we share our unique perspective on a variety of topics. My name is Terry. I'm one of your hosts.
My name is Robert. I'm the other host for the day.
Well, look, man, we got a fresh one for y'all today, man. It's been a while since we were able to come back. We had some technical difficulties, but we back now, man. And today we're going to interview Robert, man. You know, a lot of times we are around influential people that at that present moment, you just around them and you really don't know what their full potential is going to turn into or what the results going to be. But you know, sometimes you look up years later and you be like, damn, that's bro, or that's the dude I was around, and it make you feel a certain kind of way. So, Rob, you know, you being out the Knicks, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
One of the dudes I want to salute is Top Dog.
Right.
Not only from what he's doing,
Right.
what he did, and how he did that directly impacted niggas, but how he impacted the culture.
Exactly.
You know, how he inviting people over there, he bringing people together, he about his community. So, then he's just about humanity because you see people other than black people over there.
Exactly.
So we can go back to the beginning of time. Did you ever have any experiences with Top before?
Yeah, I've been doing Top Dog since I was a puppy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I grew up with him in the niggas and Gordon. You know, used to hang with him. You know, as a youth. You know what I'm saying? And so as time progressed and went on, you know, I born and raised over there. So you know, me and him linked because we came off the same line.
Right.
You know, we came off the floor together. You know, the funky floor.
Okay.
And so, you know, as a kid, you know, I used to watch him and stuff. You know, we had the green Nissan truck, all that shit, going to skate ring and all that. But, you know, but as time progressed and went on, you know, I got money with him before. You know,
right.
You know, so I started hustling with him at some point. You know,
right. So when you came and you was introducing, y'all was dealing with each other, was y'all automatically like vibing because he came off the block, or was it other things also that aligned with not just because you here, but because of what you stand for, like we hang with each other?
Well, I ain't gonna lie, you know, I was always a bad kid growing up, so you know, in the projects, you know, you got rewarded for your bad behavior.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I was always one of the top dudes in the projects, and I cleaned to him basically because we was both off the phone line. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
More than anyone.
Right.
You know, so yeah.
And seeing what he is now and how he is now, did he resemble some of that stuff back then, like as far as going together, connecting people, having resources, being resourceful? Was he like that younger?
Ever since I've ever known him, you get money. What y'all scared is new. I've been around it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Since a kid, always from the 80s and 90s, up until I left the streets in 2004. So he always get money.
Right. Oh, that's good. Okay. So was it? Did he ever try to encourage you to do things a different kind of way? Because I know sometimes in the streets, like me having my influential people that became rappers and legends in their own right that people know about what you'll get into, they always tried to do. I was getting money, but they was getting a different kind of money.
Right.
Did he ever try to tag you along or have you come around to change your perspective on certain things you was doing, or he let you be you and you let him be him?
Well, it was a mixture of both. You know what I'm saying? Because he wanted to bring me in because I was wild, you know, and I was out there, I was wild, you know, and, you know, people respect the shooters. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I was wild, but at the same time, he was trying to bring me in, but I was the type of cat. I ain't going to tell you more than once. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to he inadvertently give you a sign. It's up to you to catch it. You know what I'm saying? Right. If you don't catch it, that's on you. Right. But I ain't going to cut you off, but I just ain't going to force this on you.
Right. And looking back then, his stance on how he looked at things, did you immediately understand it, or do you understand and appreciate it more now that you've grown?
I appreciate it more that I'm grown. It's a movie thing, you know what I'm saying? He'll hit me on the phone, babe, I'm on my way, he gonna come for 5 hours later. Then he'll hit me and say I'm on my way to be at the back door. You know, so it's like, you know, the dude was very crafty, you know what I'm saying? Very crafty.
Right.
And so even now to this day, you know, I ain't never told.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Even when I call him sometimes, you know, he'll play a voice that he think I don't know. I don't think that. But then there's another time they tap in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he still plays the same games that he's been playing since I've known him. But the friendship and the relationship have always been solid.
Right. That's dope. So you think that what you see in him now, you know how certain people you see record labels and you remember the Suge Knight era, where they seemed like they were together, but you start hearing shit come out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He was bullying them. He wasn't really who he said he was. You don't hear none at the top. He is who he say he is. You haven't heard nothing come out about him. Of course, people might have had some kind of misunderstanding from Dylan. We ain't heard about it yet, but that's just a part of not understanding business and understanding business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So do you salute that? He's not in the tabloids for doing any of the wrong things?
I'm shocked, you know, because he came up in the Suge era. He was around all that stuff.
Right.
So for him to take his record label from ground zero, because before I left the street, I was going to meetings with him.
Okay.
I went to a meeting with him one time, and I forgot, it probably was Interscope.
Right.
And so he introduced me to the guy we was talking to, and he's like, man, what's your name? I'm like, I'm Black Jesus. So dude, you know what I'm saying? Dude started rolling and shit, so this one Gorilla Black should have come out.
Right.
And he introduced
That's
me.
my boy. I met that
Right,
on
right.
Fifth Avenue.
Right, so dude pull out he push a button like some shit on the Jetsons and shit get to coming out the wall. I jumped back. I'm like, what the hell is that? It was a music thing, but the wall looked plain.
Right.
Me, Top, and Evil D, we all together one day. And so dude asked me, he let me hear Gorilla Black before he came out.
Right.
So he's like, hey, Black Jesus, what's your opinion about Gorilla Black? You know, we should have gone on tour. We're going to send him to New York. I say, man, you're going to get that boy killed. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because at the time, you know, East Coast, West Coast, Biggie was, at that time, Biggie was had just got killed on the West.
Right.
Gorilla Black was emulating it sounded like it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you know I'm a bullshit nigga, right? So now you just said Black Jesus. I'm looking at you.
Right.
I'm sitting here.
Right.
I'm like, why you tell me this thing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But no, that's good. So as you got there, what stopped you from fully going down that path and kept you where you at? Do you feel like what you was doing was more instant gratification and lucrative than going this way, or you just felt like that was his vision and that was your bro, and how was that?
Now that I've been incarcerated these 22 years,
right.
His vision was always the right vision, because he's always been in the position I wanted to be in.
Right.
But, you know, the streets had a hold of me, you know what I'm saying? I lived and breathed niggas and gores, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So anything that dealt with the niggas and dealt with Maywood, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's why I went wrong at. But even when I got out, the first day I got out, he pulled up on me. I hear some mufflers. I'm like, yeah, I turned around. Move, what's up, boy? Check it out. What's up?
Right.
What's up, champ? He's like, man, you ready, man, to get out this shit, man? I'm like, man, look, I'll get at you. You know what I'm saying? This is my first day out. So about a month or two later, you know, we started linking up. So one day I'm at work. He hit me. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, I need you to go to this meeting with me. I'm like, damn, man, this was a dude. I didn't know he was top at the time, dude, dog. You know
right.
I'm like, man, I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, I didn't see his vision. But his vision had already been transparent to him, because all in the same game, wrong, I belong to you. So he put me up on shit when I'm on. I'm like, damn, I didn't know you had nothing to do with wrong. Yeah, I'm still getting royalties off that, man. You know,
right.
Like, huh?
Right.
And so that same day, I'm telling you about, this one Black Eyed Peas first make their first ever song. We're in the studio with Fergie, Will I Am, and all them. So, you know, I was Project Cat, right?
Right.
So I walk up in that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? I look around, I go in the kitchen, make me a bagel and all types of shit, you know, eat like I'm in
Right.
we left from that record label that day.
Right.
Dude offered me an A&R position.
Right.
And about a few months down the line before that, 2 T's had hit me up. I go down there on Brazil to fuck with him and Game Mill. You know what I'm saying? This one, boy So Bent had just got killed.
Right.
West Side Peru. So
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
they wanted me to be on the security detail, you know, on the street. I was known as a shooter. I was a shooter. I used to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they're like, hey, man, we'll pay you this amount of money when we go out of state. Well, all right, man, put me on the team. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But unfortunately, you know, my loyalty to Bonnie Hunters, you know, cost me in the end. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what it was.
And seeing how now you didn't transform to turn yourself into something different, and he didn't actually evolve to where he's who he is, but he has more resources to do more things, right?
Right.
And he has more connections, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you seeing your change on how it is, does that make you more excited to get out and reconnect with your new line?
Hell yeah, you know, because I want to let him be able to see his transformation. You know what I'm saying? I ain't the idiotic running around with the AKs in broad daylight no more, bulletproof vests and all the dumb shit no more. You know? So for me to be able to sit down and sit at the round table with a person with that much influence and connection, it just makes it enhances my hope high.
Right.
You know, it's high.
And I can see it, right, because, you know, us knowing for the years, we knew each other in our transformation, but, you know, knowing that you really from over there, right?
Right.
A lot of people try to downplay what that means. And it's different from people that have been around from people that were staying down.
Right.
A lot of people just been around, but they wasn't staying down. So if you talk to the people that was relevant during those times, those people that they mentioned today might not be those people that made it around with people like yourself who came to jail or got killed. They wasn't a part of them.
They wasn't part of them.
But because they stayed out longer than everybody else, they became relevant.
Right. The dudes that we used to call cupcakes, coming up. Every Friday, it was Cupcake Friday. If you was a buster, you was in the project, you wasn't doing nothing, we sent some knockout on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
That's just how it was,
Yeah, right.
The Brazy Brew did it, all the different crews in the projects that was vultures back then, because in the project, he couldn't be weak.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I grew up in that era with my cousin UB and Tidy B and Urkies and Achilles. I done grew up with the baddest of them in the niggas. So that's what it was back then.
Right. And back then, like in every hood, you always got your shooters, your hustlers, robbers, your different things of that nature. How do you think that some of the people that wasn't about the brute force or wasn't about aggressiveness, how do you think they survived?
Well, they survived because they had the gangsters. One thing I learned about hustlers, they always get shooters on their team.
Right.
That in any neighborhood in urban America, you don't have to be a killer or a shooter to hire the killers.
Right.
And so I respected them at this point now, but as a youngster, I never respected that.
Right.
I respect the shooters. You know what I'm saying? Because I was a shooter. You know what I mean? And so, but I never had envy, towards a person that went out and got there. I got it, but I didn't take advantage of it. I could have been one of the richest young cats out this niggas with the reputation I had at that time.
Right.
But I didn't take advantage of the hustle. I got some money, but I didn't get the money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, that's dope. Just hearing that, right? So now, when you think about money, how is that different from how you think about money when you was on the street, when you was younger, and then you mature with your thought process? How do you think about money and the importance of money now?
Money is everything. That was the coldest lie a person told me. Money ain't everything. Oh, yes, it is. You can't do nothing without money. Right. You can't do nothing. You can't eat, shit, bleed, or sleep without having some money because everything costs you. You know what I'm saying? Even your life costs money. After you die, it costs money to bury you. So money is everything. You know what I'm saying? I respect money now because I come from a place where it wasn't a lot. And I've seen a man that I once, got money good on the streets turn that money into some more money, and then he became one of the biggest names ever come out the niggas. I was there. I seen it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying secondhand information. I'm talking about firsthand information.
Right.
And like about 2000, it was about 99, 2000. The Alphabet Boys was on it.
Right.
They sent some people at us.
Right.
And one day a cat come to the house. He was like, hey man, y'all got 9 in here. I said, man, we don't got none up here. What dude? I said, man, he don't be over here.
Right.
So we ended up selling the dude some flowers. I told him I'd wrap up 9 with some flowers. to get to 5,000, right?
Right.
So dude leaves, you know what I'm saying? I go in the thing, grab the AK, load it, put it by the back door. I said, if a person get me for 5, I'm coming for mine.
Right.
If it's 50 cents, I'm going to buy it.
Right.
So dude never came back, and then the second time they come, I'm like, damn. Now they send somebody from the project, oh, man, y'all got 9 in there? I'm like, nah, man, why y'all keep coming over here? Man, dudes don't be over here, man. We don't fuck around like that, homie. You know what I'm saying? And so when that happened, this dude turned out to be one of the coldest people to take. They did a 20-something man indictment. Dude had him. This truck had audio, video inside of there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, but they was done at the top end. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he was so crafty. He was so smooth. You know what I'm saying? And so I've seen the transformation from the street game to the music industry. I've seen this with my first own eyes. You know?
And that's dope that you even say that, right? Because there's so many narratives on the internet about real street niggas and how they just scam it.
Right.
You got people that kind of to themselves, introverts, because they understand it's not about what I do, it's about who's around me who's going to take me down.
Right.
So when I hear that story, I'm appreciative to say that's dope that you was conscious enough to say, I know what y'all doing.
Right.
And I ain't going to fold under pressure because I was built for this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though we feel like it was wrong then, one person ain't never suffered no consequences because of your mistakes.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Outside of the enemies and the different people that at that point
You have 60 seconds remaining.
we had a distorted thinking.
Right.
But your immediate people, they can't say, well, he's fumbled. He's a goofy. He's a clown.
Nobody in our clique. Nobody in the clique fumbled.
Right.
The Hot Boys, that's how she became the Hot Boys. You know what I mean?
On the real.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Okay. Well, shit, we're going to come right back, man, and touch a little bit more, man. I'm enjoying this conversation, man. That's dope, man.